right, sounds good.
Can you give me that? Yes. Right behind you, there's an Ethernet cord. Can you just bring that? Pull that. Don't know. Pull it on the other side of you. Okay.
Can you do it a long way right here?
Yeah.
Right here.
This should make your internet connection really good.
Okay.
Okay. All right, good. We're on YouTube.
So I can be on
So we're going to mute. I'll leave that up, but I'll monitor YouTube. So you're live on YouTube. It's going to be speaker view. And then once people come in, you got to make sure you play, press play for the recording.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, you're good.
So when we start, let's push that. The split screen isn't sharing no more, right?
No, it's not.
Okay, cool.
Hello.
Hey, babe.
How are we doing?
Good, good. Oh, lost you. Okay.
Ooh, there we go.
Steve? Oh, there you go. You trying to connect in too, right?
I'm in, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
Hello?
All right. Share.
Can everybody hear me? Yes.
I can.
Oh, can you hear me, Steve?
I can.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
In
Levi, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good. What's going on, Coach Pete?
Nothing much, babe. I was a little late because I was out doing my thing, picking it up, putting it down, and had to get back here quick to get in here. But I'm here.
Hey, Dad. What's up, Coach Allen?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Coach Jose, what's going on, big dog?
What's up, brother? What's up, man? Thank you for having me on.
No, man, thank you for being on. And Champ, where you at, Champ? Austin Trout.
Hey, yo, I'm here, y'all. How you doing?
Good. You good, man?
Yeah. Let me try to fix my camera. There we go.
Hey, Austin.
How you doing, Coach?
Hey, baby. How are you doing? It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I'm good. Out of a job right now, but I'm all right.
And we all out of a job right now, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Green. You on, Coach Green?
Yeah.
Okay, good to
Here.
go. Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Hear me?
We might as well just go ahead and jump in right now.
You got it.
This is the Roundtable. My name is Coach Stokes. And without, having a great proper roundtable, you got to have a great proper guest. So what I want to do is introduce everybody. We got Coach Gloria Peak, Coach Jose Morales out of Sacramento, California.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Coach.
What's up?
Coach Alex Perez, head trainer, owner of Gorilla Jiu-Jitsu, Turlock, California.
What's up, Alex?
We got Coach Levi Callanan out of Bracknell, England. My people over in the UK.
What up?
Hey, shit.
Yo, how's it going over there in the UK, man? Shit.
About as bad as it is in America, I think.
I think we're
Yeah.
according to these numbers.
We also have Prospect, light heavyweight Prospect out of Las Vegas, New Jersey, but originally by Baltimore, Maryland, Musson Kaysen.
Hey, what's going on?
What's
Hey,
up?
babe, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You remember me?
Yeah, I remember you. But I gotta correct Coach Stokes. I'm I'm a heavyweight.
Oh, you're a heavyweight. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. Heavyweight as I was.
Big guys running the
Everyone is in isolation.
Say it again.
Everyone's a heavyweight in isolation.
You right about
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach Terry Green, who's in Texas right now, but who will be in Colorado Springs very soon. Coach
Oh,
Green,
you in El Paso, Terry?
Coach, you there?
Yeah. Here last week.
Okay. All right, then. Well, welcome to my roundtable. Guys, I just want to talk about, just whatever you guys would like to think that is important to bring to the table, but we're going to talk about COVID-19, how it's definitely been affecting the world, how it's been affecting boxing and all the other sports. How are we going to bounce back from this, man? Because, some people think we won't be able to bounce back from it. People are like ourselves. We know we can because we deal with different types of adversities. But and then we're also going to talk about different things when it comes to the fight world. All right. So this is what I like to throw up on the table. If you're around other people, please make sure that they are quiet or go off somewhere quiet by yourself or have on headphones as well if you can't connect that. Also, I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna have everybody mics on, so that way, if you want to go ahead and chime in, you can chime in. But please be respectful when somebody else is talking. That's all I ask for. Everybody abide by those rules? We good?
Got it. Good.
All right, y'all. Let's come out slugging. I'm about to throw it on the table right now. COVID-19. It's come out of nowhere. Well, not come out of nowhere, but what I want to throw on the table is, what do you guys think about that? But most importantly, how have you guys been keeping safe from that? Staying connected with your fighters, and everything like that. So what have you guys done? Anybody?
I'll go first. Really, I don't think you can try to isolate yourself as much as possible, stay in the house, make sure you wipe your feet off when you come back in, when you go to the store and things like that. But, you don't know until you don't know if you have it until you have it. So you can try to be as safe as possible, but, you never know. God willing, you stay safe. As far as boxing and things like that, you know, you work out in the house, you run if you can, you know, make sure you stay in shape. But I mean, as far as your coaching, you really don't have any coaching other than via FaceTime or something like that, you know, unless you live with your coach or something like that. It's tough, but, you know, for people like, you know, I'm gonna say, you know, for me, I'm a up and coming fighter. I have 6 fights. I planned on doing 6 more fights this year. It's tough, but you know, you stay in shape as you can, and you just try to stay as healthy as possible.
Mustin, I do want to ask you. You said that it is tough without your coach there. You got some cats, man. That the only way they being saved and being served is if they go into that gym every day, man. How's this knock them cats back?
I will say, you know what, to empathize with them, you know, I understand what they're going through. You know, there are some boxers who have nothing else but that gym, and it's hard for them. And, you know, I can't speak on how they feel. You know, for the opportunity, you know, Hassim being my brother, you know, we have other things to do, but it's tough. It's sad and it's tough. You know, that's their job, that's their career, that's their life, period. They have nothing else. And this is going to be a big deficit on them. You know, hopefully they have some friends or they have a coach that cares about them to let them in the house or make sure they take care of them.
Thank you, brother. Coach Jose, I'm looking at you up there, brother. You got something to add on to this?
Yeah, I got a lot to add on to it. I think, yeah, it is a tough time for, you know, coaches and especially business owners that are, you know, dependent on their gym to, you know, create an income for their family and for the fighters, that especially, you know, how they had all these plans, like Mustin had for competing 6 fights this year, and then to stay motivated during this time when you don't really have a fight date or nothing like that, it is difficult. But what I've noticed in the past and during everything, but if you look back right now during this time, is what's really going to separate the real motherfuckers, the people that are really doing something, with the ones that are not. So
Yeah,
I agree with that one.
Yep. So
yeah.
this is where you're going to be like as a fighter when you have no fight day. Are you going to stay motivated without your coach there? Are you going to keep fighting without your coach there? And fighting, I mean, are you going to be training the same way in your garage, the same way as if your coach was there? And then as a coach, are you going to bring that same energy and mentality? So when you texting or you're on the phone with your coach, with your fighters, you got to have that same energy. So they're feeding off us. If we're down, they're going to be down. So we just got to be on point and not let this stop us, because it's not going to stop us. And this was going to separate the bad motherfuckers from the average Joes that couldn't make it. So
Coach Jose, I've got to agree with Coach Jose. I mean, you know, I tell my fighters all the time, and I use my Instagram page, you know, to not only give them, you know, little motivational pep talks, but I lay out their training regime. You know, I do a show and tell, like back in the day from elementary school, when you used to get up in front and you show people what you want them to do.
Yeah.
I show them the exercises and what I want them to do. And I challenge them. I'm out there every day, hitting the pavement, working out, trying to stay healthy for them. I said, so if I'm doing that for you, what the hell are you doing for me?
Yeah.
If I'm going to, at my age, if I'm doing this, you know, and I'm giving you everything I got, then, you know, you've got to reciprocate. And the thing is, it will separate, you know, the true champions from the ones that talk the game. You know, you got a lot out there to talk.
Yep.
They can talk a good game, man, make them sound like they champions already.
Yep.
Okay. And their ass is not even close to being where they need to be. So my thing is, you know, by the time this ends and we're back to where we want to be, the guys that come back to the gym, I know who are going to be the real deal. And the other ones, I'm just going to move them back on down the line.
Yeah. The coach can't want it more than the fighter. So
definitely
right. Very good. That's excellent. You can't want it more than the fighter.
Yep.
Now the coaches are just the seasoning. You got to be the prime rib for, you know, for the most part. Coaches just add on. That's all they do.
we're a stepping stone for their championship belt. They need us just as a guidance, but they got to do all. They got to really want it. So,
hey, I want to ask you guys, what about all these pop-up boxing programs that I'm seeing on Instagram, I'm seeing on YouTube? Learn how to box within 30 days. Learn how to protect yourself. Learn how to choke somebody out within 60 days in jiu-jitsu. It's crazy.
We all know that can't happen.
Yo, hey, I know that, Coach Jose, but Coach Alex, man, this is a badass dude right here, man. I met Alex, man. I met him when I was still in the Marine Corps on recruiting duty. And make a long story short, man, this dude, when I say badass, he's the most quietest, humblest person you know, but he's the type of person that you definitely want to have right next to you. He is that fucking Malinois that you see right next to the cops. He's that type of dude. So, Alex, what do you say when it comes to jiu-jitsu, when it comes to mixed martial arts? How is it different?
As far as those of us that have academies and this is how we make our living, it's a little tough because, you know, the nature of our sport, we're really close to each other. So I had to close down pretty early. So all of that income, because it's monthly memberships, it's not coming in the meantime while all the gyms are shut down, you know, because we're not what do you call it, an essential business. We are in a lot of ways because we provide a lot of we do provide a lot of things for our members, for our students that come to the academy. Like I forgot who said it earlier, like psychologically, emotionally, you know. I know for myself, this is kind of like this is a way of life for me. So even though the gym's closed, I still train every day. I try to get my work in every day, stay busy. But yeah, as far as staying connected to the members, to my students, you try to do as much as you can, like on social media, just to kind of, you know, keep them motivated and keep their mind on, you know, that this is all going to go back to normal when this is over. You know what I mean? So, I mean, just, you know, trying to stay connected through social media, through emails, and just keeping people motivated. That way, you know, when things do go back to normal, you don't lose half your academy and then maybe not have a gym at all. You know, so it is kind of tough. So, I mean, that's probably like one of the best ways to do it right now at the moment. But there is a lot of social media. It's funny because I noticed that a lot of the striking arts got really, really popular as soon as you couldn't go outside, you know, because it's easier to do the workout, you know, because if you don't have anybody to train with at home, like if you want to do jiu-jitsu, you have to have somebody in your house that knows jiu-jitsu. You can't work out with like somebody that doesn't know how to do it. You know, that's why you see all these boxing and kickboxing kind of workouts that pop up everywhere now.
Right. I saw
Don't
one.
say the boxing though.
Yeah, there's a guy that told me today, man. He was like, "Hey, you can learn within 30 days. You'll be knocking everybody out."
Oh,
Like,
man.
who's everybody?
We all know that if you want to use this in a real life situation, it has to be something that you do every day, because it's a perishable skill and it takes time to develop, you know, the skills to be able to use it in a real life situation. So, you know, those
Man,
of us that train, we all know.
It took me a year just to not get my ass whooped every day. It's no way you're gonna do this in 30 days. My first year of boxing, you know, my brother put me in there with everybody. Everybody wanted to take my head off, and I was getting my ass whooped for a whole year. It's no possible way you're gonna learn how to box in 30 days. No way.
So I got you confirmed. So, Coach Jose, can you confirm you cannot do this shit in 30 days?
Yeah, I confirm that. We'll kind of do it. Like, you're gonna shadow box in 30 days, or you competing?
I mean, you get in shape in 30 days.
Yeah.
But you can't fight. You ain't gonna be able to fight.
Can't fight in 30 days. Anybody
Yeah.
can get in shape in 30 days.
Right.
Maybe not everybody, because they come to
The
the
majority.
They're not ready for what you're putting down. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not ready for that. And you can't even learn a jab in 30 days. A good jab. Come on, man. Even practicing it every day. I got cats that's taking them 3 months, 4 months to get a good jab down.
I know pros who don't got good jabs.
Yo, let's not even talk about jabs. Let's talk about positioning, body positioning.
Footwork. Getting your feet right, the stability. That took me like
Absolutely.
2 months. They didn't let me throw a punch until I was able to step right. So,
Yeah.
getting my feet right was kind of the first thing they made us do.
Are you guys all like out of jobs right now because of this, or you guys have a
Oh,
gym?
absolutely.
What are you guys all doing?
Good question.
Right now, so actually, all my jobs and side businesses has something to do with the gym. You know, I coached a Parkinson boxing therapy class, and I teach some seniors some boxing, and that's all shut down. I have an ATM business, but all my ATMs are in tattoo shops, so that's shut down.
Yeah.
Like all my means of income is kind of cut off right now. So I'm looking to see. I don't know when the fire academy's coming through again or something. We'll see.
Yeah, I fortunately, thank God, I was able to before I became a boxer, I learned a different language. So I teach a different language, but even with that, some of my students only wanted personal interactions. So they don't even want via FaceTime or via Zoom or anything. So that kills a lot of my income. It's hard, especially when you're trying to box. My man
I was
Austin
supposed to.
Trout,
I had some fights scheduled
yeah,
this
of course.
this summer.
But you've seen the pinnacle of boxing. Congratulations. Props to you. You've seen that
Thank you. I appreciate that.
the top of the game. Whereas for me, man, I haven't even seen a $10,000 paycheck yet.
You're waiting for you gotta get the momentum going.
I'm hungry. I want the momentum to go. Like I said, I planned on 6 fights this year, and my last fight was in November of last year.
So so let me ask you guys this. Let me jump into this then. There are going to be a lot of professional athletes, not just boxers, golfers, you name it, in the gamut, that will not be able to return back to professional whatever. It's going to be hard.
Yep.
So with that being said, how long do you think it's going to take to come back?
I don't know, man. I honestly think it ain't gonna be until really early next year. Realistically, looking at it, I don't think it's gonna be done by no April or May. You know what I mean? Definitely. I think this is going early next year, probably.
I think in August you might get a green. I think you're gonna hear. I have my own YouTube, and I was talking to Badu Jack and his manager, and they were telling me, he was saying, there might be fights, but there might not be any crowds. They might have a green screen up, to fill a void, but you're gonna hear all the punches, all the talk, all the trash talking in the ring, see what's going on. I think they might go that route if they really have to.
I'm okay with that.
I just think that it's not to go with what Austin was saying. I really don't think by the time they get up and start going again, in order to get back to even close to where they were when we got shut down, it's going to take some time. Remember, this is a pandemic that is global. It's not, and boxing is global. Boxing is we're not just talking the United States. We're talking that, you've got other countries that may not have fighters that are going to be available. So depending on how long this takes to even get that curve where we can come back and be in close proximity. And the thing is, our sport is one of the sports where you're in the closest of proximity. You're right up in somebody's chest, and so therefore, in order to come back, I just think that maybe, boxing and stuff will get back going full tilt. If we're lucky, maybe by the end of the year. If not, we could see things happening for next year, especially in the pros.
I want to touch two people that haven't spoke yet. Coach Terry Green and then Coach Levi. Coach Terry Green, can you chime in on that?
On when we're gonna be ready?
Well, yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. Well, I'm in a different profession, like college boxing, and so we have a season, and the end of our season got scrapped this year. So unfortunately for all my seniors, they lost their chance at a national championship, regional championship, whatever glory they thought they were going to get. And it's a service academy. So now they commission May 28th. They're going to commission April 18th and go on and start their military careers. As far as basic training and stuff for them starts in July. I don't know if they're going to let that happen. They sent juniors through freshmen home already, except for the international students. Their countries closed the border, so they're stuck at the academy, pretty much isolated. They're not allowed to leave the base. But as far as everybody getting back ready to go, boxing is just not in the United States and the UK, two more developed countries. You got some very underdeveloped countries that have a lot of fighters. Mexico provides a lot of fighters that we compete against. We got quite a few world champions, Philippines, Thailand, stuff like that. They don't have the same infrastructure that we have. So even once we're ready to go, they may not be. You know, are they going to put those titles on the shelf for those people from those countries that do have them? Are there going to be crowds available? Who knows? You know, I mean, this sport depends on people showing up and buying tickets to make money. You know, are we going to just depend on TV? Because a lot of these fights, you know, not everybody's Austin where they're on TV. There's Joe Schmo that's fighting for $400 that ain't on TV, or he got to sell tickets
money from his tickets
to pay his purse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's gonna happen to those guys? You know what I mean? What's gonna happen to those guys? There's no telling, man. I've never seen anything like this before. You know, this is uncharted territory for a lot of us, and you know, hopefully we come out on the other end of this better. But it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while.
Thanks, Coach Levi. What are they doing over there in the UK?
Very similar to yourselves, but what Coach Green just mentioned is very, very important, because with professional boxing here in this country as well, it relies heavily on ticket sales. So how could you demand the purse that you were getting before if you're not involved in the ticket sales? So even if the production is making money from the TV side, it'll be very difficult to claim your stake from that. So it'll be a big factor in terms of fight purses. I'd imagine a lot of fighters will be happy to take whatever money they can. And that's going to affect the matchup significantly. You mentioned fighters that might be retiring. I think you'll have people staying on longer because alternative sources of income are gone. If you're a boxer that was looking to retire, open up a gym or start coaching, that's now out the window. Will you push yourself to have that one more fight when you come back? And that's something I've seen quite a lot of people are talking about, having that one more fight when they come back. But will the money be there? It's very doubtful. So there's two sides of it. When will the sort of authorities let the fights go ahead? But when will the business side of it make sense for it to make it a financially viable sport? So I think a lot of people could be fighting for a lot less money.
It's unfortunate, but it's true. And not that I was ready to retire, but I'm looking at my way out. And I was trying to make some big things happen in the next couple of years. But that's going to have to be extended to the next few years now, unfortunately.
Yeah, it did. I think we talked about before, Boomston, everybody that's on the panel, that this sport is a rough sport, man. This is a rough sport. And when you live that life, man, you got to be dedicated. And they don't understand that. They don't see that, where it's like, they only see the iceberg. They only see the top. They don't see the bottom. They don't see everything that you're going through. Coach Jose, can you talk about that a little bit, man?
Talk about what? Say that again. You cut off.
I'm sorry. Can you talk about that? You know, like people only see the aesthetic when it comes to boxing, never see what's behind, you know, the need, you know, what it takes to be a champion, what it takes, you know, being a coach, man. You know, I was an athlete for years, but then when I became a coach, I was like, this shit is a headache, man.
Yeah.
You don't understand, but I love it, but it's rough though. Can Can you explain to people that?
Yeah, and by people, are you talking about just average Joes, boxers, or are you talking about
Joes?
Average Joes? Yeah, well, a lot of people are not going to understand boxing because people, they just think there's just two guys in the ring just throwing punches at each other. They don't understand the whole discipline before you even get in the ring, everything you have to sacrifice just to get there. And then let alone once you get there, it's still not easy. But what I try to see is by people like that and people that are always not going to appreciate what you're doing. If you sit there and think about everybody that doesn't give you the credit for what you're doing or understands what you're going through, you're going to always be thinking about those people, which you should be thinking about is yourself and what you're doing. So I just keep it moving. The people that understand what we're doing is us within each other. We give each other credit for, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. And it's ourselves and our family. So I try not to put too much effort in thinking about all the people that don't understand what we're going through because it don't matter.
Facts.
Yeah.
Coach Perez. No, I got a different question for you. Are they gonna move the Conor McGregor and Tony Ferguson fight to?
I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be really hard to make any fights right now. I think that's a part of just keeping the audience connected to the UFC, creating rumors. That's just part of it. So people don't forget about it and watch the content on ESPN Plus and stuff like that. I doubt really highly that they're gonna be able to find a place to make that fight happen. Also, too, when you guys are talking about making it difficult to have fights, I think the higher top tier fighters are not going to want to fight right now because they're not going to make as much money. And it's just, those fights that you want to see, they're going to be pushed back further until next year. Like we all want to see Crawford and Spence, and we want to see Canelo fights a top tier guy at 168 or whatever. So, those fights you're not going to see until later. It's probably not until next year because when they're going to wait for the economy to recover, and then that way they can get the maximum money out of it, But I think it's going to be really hard to have fights. And if they do have fights, they're going to be fights with no crowd and probably, maybe guys that are not in the elite category, and that might be good for them because they'll get a lot more screen time. A lot more people. Like I want to watch boxing. I want to watch fight. I'm used to watching fights every weekend. Now there's nothing on. So I think when it does come back, I think people will be really hungry for it. But I don't think it's going to take a while. Probably won't be till next year.
So me and my wife was talking about this. Do you think the theater is going to move from there to the home eventually? I mean, do you think people will, whenever they have a gathering, people still going to go? But do you think that would be just for the high profile individuals? Anybody can chime in. Anybody.
I think the movie industry is already going in that direction on its own. Where you can, before if a movie came out in the theaters, it'd be a year before you can get it on VHS or whatever. Now, like 1 month later, 2 months later, you can buy it on iTunes now. So I think, I think that'll happen either way.
It's gonna happen. It's inevitable.
But right now,
Most of the
everybody
boxing
is
shows
going to be at an all-time high. It's just a matter of time for boxing really taps into the streaming. I think, like he said, the big names are probably not going to want to be a part of it. But and I don't consider myself the top elite because I look at it like an opportunity to nickel and dime the game to death. You know what I mean? So like if a name like Austin Child would bring in some money and I could go and pick who I want to fight, then I would just do it to stay busy, maybe more than anything.
Mustin, can you chime in on that?
I agree. For me, it's a little different, and at the point of my career, this is my opportunity because, before, you're fighting on club shows, like Trout said, you're fighting on fights where, you got to make a certain amount of ticket sales in order for you to get a good percentage. And for the fighters who don't want to be on that card, this is the open slot for us to really train hard. And once they actually give us that opportunity, show what you got on TV, most of the time it's not really about what you know, it's who you know. And you know, if you get into one of those situations where somebody who knows you puts you on one of those, you know, broadcasting stations, because there's not a big box on those cars and they got to fill spots. I mean, for me, that's just an opportunity. And, you know, I understand the money situation is definitely different, but, you know, 6-0, you're probably not going to really get a actually hard fight until what, your 13th fight, 14th fight, maybe, if you move well. So it just all depends on, you know, what position you're in, you know, to really like you said, you know, my man Trout, he wants to eventually get out of the game. So in order for him to do that, he has to make sure he solidified his accounts, his banking and everything else, his funds, in order to say, you know what, I can go ahead and retire and be comfortable. But he can't do that, you know, with all of this going on.
But wouldn't that too, to me, it's like, if those big names, they're not going to fight, because I agree, they're not going to be getting the big purses like they're used to, but it gives you an opportunity to shine in a lot of ways, as well as you stay busy, you're able to move up, more people see you, you get a greater following, because the following is important too. You know,
Absolutely.
People knowing you, know your name, getting that following, it's an opportunity, you know, for you. I'd be like, yeah, I'm glad these cats sitting back, not doing anything, because now I can not only stay busy, but but it's an opportunity.
I agree. And for me, it's like I said, for me, I'm just speaking on all parts. For me, this is the best opportunity for me. Once these broadcasting shows come back, you know, Fox, ESPN, all these other things, yeah, it's my time to shine. But I'm just speaking I'm speaking for everybody in the elite status and in my status, you know, at the bottom of the totem pole. You know, for us it's good, but for them, yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough. You know, you only fighting twice a year, mate, sometimes once a year. And, you know, that big money is not going to be there. For me, it's fantastic. My social media has gone up, my YouTube, and just because, you know, my brother's Hashem Rockman, yeah, people are already looking at me. You know, I'm just waiting on my opportunity. But like I said, you know, I'm just speaking on everybody's part. It's going to be hard for the top contenders, and it's going to be a great opportunity for these young guys like me.
So it's been a positive. It's been kind of positive in some ways.
Absolutely.
So I want to ask that. This is what I want to ask then. How has it been positive for each and every one of you? Because everybody's thinking about the bad, but really for me, man, I really feel like this has been a blessing from God, because you got a lot of cats out there that can't stand their old ladies, but they got to come together in their house somehow.
Agreed.
For real.
Agreed. We talk about boxing though. With boxing, you know, this is actually where you see like for the coaches, this is where you see who really wanted it now. Who gonna stay in shape? Who got that dog in them to keep going? Like, man, like ain't nobody. My brother is my coach, but my brother, he knows that he already has the 100% confidence that I'm a bike my 10 miles. I'm a run. I'm gonna make sure I'm in shape by the time I come back. So he doesn't have to really check up on me all the time. But you know, for other fighters, for people who really like, oh well, you just come into the gym to get that clout. Now we're gonna see what you do.
That's the whole Mayweather gym. No lie.
1,000%. Most of that Mayweather gym. I've been in boxing for 5 years. I'm a rookie in this sport. But because of who my brother was, I had a target put on my head the entire time I've been in Vegas. And thank God, you know, I'm Muslim, so thank Allah that I came out strong. And, you know, but I seen a lot of pro fighters who are just pro fighters because it sound good, not because they really want to be champions. Pro fighters because they sound good, or they pro fighters because, you know, it looked good to be in the Mayweather gym. That's really it. And then whoever said that Mayweather fighters, that's definitely true. I only know a small percentage of Mayweather fighters who really about that life.
Talk about it, man. Eric, talk about that, Austin.
Yeah, no, you know the ones you see them, and the ones that do good are the ones that are there for real, and a lot of them too, like my man Badu Jack, you know, like my man Tabiti, like they train for real, for real. Kevin Johnson, he's another up and comer, he's real good. But the majority of them cats, you know, I didn't name everybody that's in the career, but the majority of them cats, you see it, they'll be in there hitting the bag hard only when the floor is there. Only when the camera's there. Other than that, they just joking around, talking trash, dancing, this and the
Waiting
third.
on Floyd.
Waiting on Floyd to come make a show.
Waiting on Floyd to get there.
Yeah.
Sound like a bunch of groupies.
They are.
You never been, Coach Jose?
Yeah, I've been twice, but that was 2011 and in 2010. It was a lot smaller. It was in that. Yeah, it was a long time
I think
ago.
it's more of a circus idea. He should really hang that up.
Yeah.
So I've been sparring partners. I've been sparring partners with Ronald Gavril, Badu Jack, Andrew Tabiti, all of them guys. And when you go in there, you see like Trout said, you see who are the dogs. You see who always stays in shape no matter what's going on. And then you see those guys who come in, hit the bag, look a little pretty, take showers like Floyd, come in laughing like Floyd and all that other stuff. And when it's really time to fight, they gym fighters. That's all they are. They look good for the camera. That's it.
I also believe that those guys are in every gym, just probably not as many of them, but I think every gym has a couple of those.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
you always got that.
Yeah, I know when I can spot them when they're always holding their phone while they're doing something. I'm like, man, leave that shit alone, man. Just focus on what you're doing. Why you gotta put that shit on your story or something, man? Just do what you're doing.
Coach, you gotta take it from them before they start, man. You gotta take it from them.
Yeah, I'm like, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Hey, I know Coach Peak would do this. What would you do for them cats when they bring a phone in, Coach?
Listen, first of all, I just bring out my little bag, put it in the bag. I collect all the phones, okay? Because when you come to practice, you on my time, okay? Nobody else's. If your mama or somebody need to know where you are, they know you with me. They can call me, but nobody in that gym has a phone but me. So if there's an emergency, let them call me. I'll get it to you. But nobody can have a phone.
Yep.
Eventually, you'll get to that point where boxers, where people will be, where cameras will be on you. But other than that, unless, unfortunately, social media does play a big part in how likable you are for boxing channels. But I mean, unless cameras are on you, you might as well just leave it alone for right now. Do your own thing. But when it's time to really train, don't have that camera on you.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to ask you guys this: has everybody seen the pound for pound list that came out in boxing?
Gypsy's number 2.
Bro, I don't even pay attention.
Oh no, what's that ring? The ring boxing you looking at?
I don't pay attention to pound for pound.
Okay.
Gypsy came number 2.
So I'm gonna bring it up then. I'm gonna bring it up. Who you think they got number 1? Come on, man.
Earl Spence.
No.
Alvarez.
No.
Canelo.
Crawford.
Canelo.
Alvarez. Canelo.
Yeah.
Canelo.
It's Ring Magazine, of course.
Yeah.
No. Lomachenko 2, Errol Spence 3, and Crawford 4.
Wow.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that, please?
Talk about what do you want us to tell us? If we agree with it, or what is our four?
I want to know. Can we talk about? Do you think that is correct?
Canelo is the pound for pound most popular fighter.
Huh?
I got Crawford number 1.
Yeah. Hold that, Coach Morales. Austin.
I said Canelo is pound for pound the most popular fighter. So I mean, I guess I can't argue too much about Canelo being number 1. He's the guy.
Skillful too.
He could fight too. He's trying to dominate the super middleweight division. I can agree with that number one. I don't agree with the number two though. I don't agree with Lomachenko as number two pound for pound. Anybody that has a loss to my man Orlando can't possibly be pound for pound like that.
It's funny how people forget he has that loss.
They forgot. Yeah.
They act like that loss don't exist.
They forget real quick. They forget real quick, don't they?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It should be Crawford and Spence as 2 and 3, and I can't tell you which one. Number 4 would be the number 4 for me. I can't tell you right now.
Coach Jose.
What's up?
What's up? I'm sorry. You were saying about Crawford's one.
Personally, who I think is the best, I think Crawford's the best. But if you're judging it off everything, because what you do gotta judge it off everything: popularity, who sells the most tickets, who looks good, who's been, you know what I mean? It's fair to say Canelo. But if you're asking me who I think is the best pound for pound, I love Crawford, man.
Yeah, he's a good fighter.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Coach Jose. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Coach Levi, what do you think? You said a Gypsy King.
I saw the rankings. It had Canelo number
Gypsy
1, and then
King,
it had
man.
Gypsy King number 2. Crawford was 3 or 4, I think.
That must be UK.
It's not easy to be pound for pound. It's not easy to be pound for pound number 1 when you're twice the weight of everyone else. That's the thing.
That's true.
Do you think Gypsy King is number 1?
If you put him in a ring with Crawford, who wins?
Correct.
So he's been handicapped twice the weight. So, I think Canelo number 1 is fine. I think Lomachenko and Crawford are very close, but I think Gypsy King needs a mention in there. I think what he's done, and he's never looked after himself physically, but he does enough to come back fit enough to fight. But his technique is unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree with him. I think he needs to be in there.
Good to go.
But is that because the his opposition is so, subpar?
Yeah, I mean,
which ones?
You can look at.
Well, I mean his opposition, with the exception of Vitaly and
Wilder.
I mean, I can't even say Wilder, because Wilder's right hand was blessed by God, but everything else is just subpar. Like Wilder has no hook, no jab, no stunt, no real boxing skills.
No combination.
He has toothpicks for legs. He just was blessed with a right hand. That's it.
Crazy,
but when it comes to
you got a bronze medal at the Olympics.
I understand that, but guess what? I won the Golden Gloves my first fight. That don't mean nothing. I had a right hand, and guess what? It took me past and got me a Golden Glove. I'm a Golden Glove champion because of that. All I had was a right hand. But guess what? When I got to, the pros, I had to learn how to feint. I had to learn how to jab. I had to learn how to block a shot. I mean, opposition, fortunately, I am in the heavyweight division, so it is a little easier for me. But if I was in a position,
isn't it? The jab and the movement and the slipping and the
that's not everything. Everything is key, because if you actually
but you
went
just
down
described
in weight,
Fury.
No, I understand. But if you went, how about this? You said if Fury and Crawford fought. If Fury was Crawford's size, do you think he could beat him with that type of technique?
No.
Exactly.
No.
And that's my point.
Well,
that's my point.
Let me chime in on that one.
Was Fury's side.
I want to chime in on that one. the same size. That's why I like pound. Part of Fury's 6'9", 205 pounds, flabby, flashy, the greatest trash talker in the game right now. He wouldn't be Fury. He'd be somebody else. You feel what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Coach Alex Perez, chime in on that, please. Coach Alex Perez.
On the pound for pound list.
Yeah, what we're talking about right now.
I think Usyk definitely should be top 5, top 3. I mean, he unified the light heavyweight division. As far as Crawford, I like Crawford a lot. I just don't think he's fought anyone as good as him yet. So who did he fight? He fought Gamboa at 135. Gamboa's too
all little dudes.
Gamboa's
All
too small. Fought
guys.
at 140. He fought Postal. And Postal sometimes fights good, sometimes he doesn't fight good. And then at 147, he hasn't fought anybody. He fought Amir Khan, and then he fought. He also fought. He fought Benavidez, and everyone knows Benavidez his ACL his leg was messed up in that fight. So I would like to see. I would like to see Crawford fight somebody like Porter. I would like to see him fight Austin. I mean, that would be a great fight. I want to see him fight somebody at that level that's not going to quit and give up, or afraid of him, I have Spence really high up there because I think he's probably the most balanced out of everyone as far as like his durability, his ability to take a punch, like the pressure he puts on people. He can fight, he can box, but he could also pressure fight and come forward. Like when he fought the guy, what's his name from the UK?
Special K.
No, when he fought, when he knocked out the guy from the UK, I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah, Kell Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, but after the accident, who knows? Who knows how he's gonna fight again? That has to. He did, even though he looks like he's fine. I'm sure we don't know until he fights for sure. But I would keep Canelo at number 1, only because I think his overall resume is better than everyone else's. Even though I still feel he needs to fight people like I still feel he needs to fight like maybe the Charlo, the 160 Charlo.
Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
They offered to fight Caleb. Caleb didn't take it.
I think guys like Caleb Plant, guys like Billy Joe Saunders, if he comes in 100%, I think those are hard fights for Canelo because those guys move a lot. Canelo doesn't exactly have the best feet. He's a little flat-footed.
Yeah.
What about the other Benavidez brother?
I think that guy would be a tough fight for Canelo too.
He's a problem. He's a problem.
He's really tall. He's really tall, and I don't know. I haven't seen Canelo fight really tall guys that have a really good jab that use their length a lot. I think Benavidez and Plant would be.
The Benavidez is fast too.
If he does beat those guys, he's gonna take some damage in those fights because he might have to walk them down and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if he has.
He'll definitely have to walk Caleb down.
Yeah, I don't know if he has the size to be able to withstand the 12-round beating of a true 160-pound fighter, guys that walk around like at 190, 200 pounds. Because Canelo probably walks around like at 185, maybe 190. I don't know. Lomachenko, I think he's probably rated a little bit too high. But also you got to remember he's fighting up 2-3 weight classes higher than his normal weight. He's probably a natural 126-pound fighter, or maybe a 130-pound fighter. But he didn't look as good fighting against the guy Campbell. That was a really good fight. Campbell gave him some problems. I think if Campbell's a little bit more, I don't know. I don't think he just had the mental game to beat Lomachenko. If he would have, the first 5 rounds, the way he fought, if he would have kept that the whole fight, I think he probably could have beat him. But he just wasn't able to sustain that mentally. But I would say Canelo's probably number 1 pound for pound right now.
Hey, fellas and ladies, I really appreciate the time. Thank you for, spend this time. Everybody stay safe during this quarantine. Watch yourself. Wash your hands. For real, I put up a post. I don't know if you saw me this week of a raccoon. It was real simple. Wash his hands. Hey, I'm serious, man. I think this is God's way of saying get back to where we need to be, get clean. I'm gonna send this little thing down there. Hey, wash your ass. Simple as that. It's the truth.
You're washing the ass now.
For real. Word up. So, hey, everybody, please go around, give your information, your social media handles, how they can contact you. Coach Pete, please, first.
Yes, you can, I have both the YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and you can reach me by just going Coach Gloria Peak, all one word.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Jose, you're next, please.
El Rey de Soccer on Instagram, and I think I added everybody already on IG. And that's it. My gym is Jose Morales Boxing Academy, and I look forward to following up with all you guys' careers, and I'll be rooting for all you guys.
Hey, Coach Jose got a super dope podcast, man. Go check it out, man. He's very knowledgeable. Coach Alex, please.
You could follow me on Instagram at The Patriot GJJ. And also, if you want to follow my academy, it's Guerrilla, not the animal, but like Guerrilla Warfare, Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu Turlock.
Good to go. Coach Callanan.
Yeah, you can follow me on my son's page where I coach him and post some updates on there. So it's Z Boxer 2028.
Good to go. Coach Green. Coach Green.
Follow me on Instagram. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
You can follow me on Instagram at T Green, or you can follow me at the box.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. Last but not least, I think Austin timed out, but Muslim Casing, and this brother has a funny YouTube channel. I'm serious, man. Hey, brother. Hey, if you decide you want to go stand up, I'm gonna be there. Me and the wife are gonna be there, inshallah. All right.
Oh man, inshallah. I appreciate it, man. Hey, you gotta, with the exception of boxing, you gotta find something else to do in this house. I got too much energy in order to just keep, sit on the couch and watch TV. But yeah, follow me on Instagram at Muslim_Casing, and my YouTube is Case in Point. Yeah, we talk about boxing, we make funny videos and all that.
Hey, what's the other language you know? You say you learned another language. What language is it?
Yeah, I learned Arabic and ancient Arabic, the scripture. It took me 3.5 years to do it, but I memorized the entire Quran by heart. So I teach that to
memorize the whole Quran.
Yeah. Took me a long time, but yeah.
In 30 days.
Say it again.
Your Quran Hafiz.
Not in 30 days, no.
Okay. Say it again.
Not in 30 days.
Can't do that in 30 days.
Nah, you can't do that in 30 days either. Can't do that in 30 days. It takes a long time. It's dedication, just like boxing. It takes all day. It's the sacrifices you got to make. You barely can listen to music because the music will take away from the memorization. So, I mean, you got to keep it.
What made you want to do that?
I didn't want to do it. My dad, I had a good memory. I was really a really smart kid, but my father, he just was like, let's try it out. And eventually I got to the point where I got like 10 chapters in. So he was like, let's keep going. So,
hey, that's
so I definitely did not have a choice or a say in the matter. I'm pretty sure my father's very proud of me, but I didn't have a choice in the matter. I just had to do it.
That's a good parent. We doing that with our kids with some things.
Good.
Yep.
Listen, man, the one thing, I don't care. I done some stupid stuff in my life, but I'm married now, and the Quran has brought me back. It kept me humble and it kept me grounded for for most of my career. So that's really the blessing in it. They might not use it now, but they'll use it later.
Yes. Hey, everybody. My name is Coach Stokes. Thank you for joining me for this roundtable. You can follow me on Instagram. That's Stokes, STOKES _ boxing, BOXING. And then you can watch this live or the repost on Instagram on mine, which is Coach S as in Steve, last name Stokes, or you can type in Stokes House Boxing Academy. But everybody, please be safe. I thank each and every one of you. I'll talk to you next time.
See you later.
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 See you later.
Later.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, man.
Yeah. But it was I like that.